Wow, that did like no damage. Sharp turn.
Master, if you please.
Zero damage. Okay, so it looks like the ones that already used reanimation protocol have like a dot on them, so their second life bar is like ticking downward.
Unleash our fury. Engage the lads.
Yeah, I'm guessing these guys have like damage reduction or something. Like the mini small hits of the interceptors are doing 0 or near 0 damage. Oh my god, new funny over edited moments. I missed those videos. Glad you brought them back. Just have to have enough funny moments to put them together. Luck taking bribes, I'm shocked. Are you really though? Are you really?
Engage the lads. Sail upon the seas of void.
Took damage to the explosion.
Another victory of 2 great dynasties, Lord Captain.
Got a better shield array. Imagine Necron companions. How would that work? Lord Captain, what were those things? They took off from the surface of the world where you landed. I've never seen ships like that, never seen such technologies either. We fished a trophy out of the void, a relatively intact fragment of a wreck, and sent it to our engine seers. And just in case, we've isolated the compartment where they are performing their comprehension liturgies. Lord Xenos 100%. Research the tomes in the Rogue Trader's private library. Perhaps it will give us insight into these monsters. An hours-long silence follows as your order is being executed. At last, the Vox comes to life again. Your Lordship, the Carto Artifacts claims to have found a mention of Xenos similar to the ones we've encountered. The manuscript refers to them as Necrons. Bolster the crew's morale. Give out additional rations to those who showed valor in battle. This is just the beginning. As you will, Lord Captain. Void ship management. Upgrade the shields. Okay. Alright, and go to the big map. Chart new routes. Okay, so that's where we were. We're over here now. Warp travel. Lord Captain, I must inform you, Mistress Cabela has made her way to your chambers and relieve the bodyguard stationed there. Perhaps she wishes to have a conversation in private. What? Now? We're fighting Necrons, woman! Time and a place. Admuck, hope you're doing great. Do you have any inspiring words for me to power up my will to do the things, aka achievements, to finish my vision? Lost Ellie, remember, it's garbage can, not garbage can't. You got this. There's nothing stopping you. Cabela says, your chambers have undergone a profound... Oh no, she's just kind of viewing this. Your chambers have undergone a profound transformation. Familiar patterns stretch from the entrance all the way to the far end of the hall, forming an intricate maze. Its passages meet and diverge, all of them blending together in an almost hypnotic experience, and the aroma of sacred unguents tickles your nostrils.
Domin, it's time we left the labyrinth.
Get out of my chambers. Cabela looks rather out of place in the soft gloom of the chambers. A thin, angular tendril, an intruder in a realm of soothing shadows. What is going on?
Ever since you appeared in my life, I've been looking for a way out of what my existence has become.
You're welcome.
And I've realized I can't do it alone. This time, you will be my guide. Please, take me out of this labyrinth. When we're free of this trap I've led us into, we can look at what the future holds.
Alright, I'll buy it. Well then, follow the sound of my words. You take a step and Cabela echoes it, entering the tangled web with you. You notice a set of tiny stitches on her closed eyelids. Oh, she stitched her eyes shut? She is relying on her hearing to walk, having completely entrusted herself to your will.
When I first stepped into your world, it blinded me, so I clung to my mask of calm focus. Any other spinner in my place would have been overwhelmed by what I saw in your realm. When thoughts of you began to cloud my mind and steer me away from the tenets, I noticed it happening. Our bond is steadily cutting the threads between me and my purpose.
Be sappy. I will forever treasure the memory of the day I first saw you. You too have opened up a new world to me.
Forever.
Cabela's expression tenses. She wants to look at you, but she does not lose control. I knew I had stirred something in your soul, back then on our first evening.
Can you truly read my soul so easily, Domin? Or are you just showing off in front of the one who trusts you?
She laughs softly. Guide Cabela through the labyrinth without breaking the rules. You guide Cabela through the maze away from the center and closer to the exit. Her movements are precise and she carefully follows your every instruction. The corridors weave and join, cross and branch in an attempt to confuse all who wander them. The odor wafting from the lines on the floor makes your head swim. Is this dating? This is what it's like dating a psychopath assassin, yes.
I searched long. I tried on different masks. I struggled to find a new thread, one that would accept you without repulsing me. But here's the truth. I am my own past. The blood-spun web is my home and my destiny. It is everything I know about the universe, and I'm not ready to leave it behind. If I did, your Cabela would disappear. The web stretches through me, feeding my soul and mind. And so, it will always be. I can love you still from the shadows of the web. If that isn't enough for you, I will withdraw into the darkness. I will take our feelings with me and keep them far away from you.
We will find a way to be together. However different our worlds may be, we can overcome any obstacle.
Domin, I would defy the tenets. No, every law in the Imperium, just for a chance to be happy with you. but I know I won't be.
Sing my song or follow my prayer. What? I didn't even know my guy could sing. Follow my song, Cabela. I sing of you. The moment you start singing, Cabela joins you, like an echo of your every note. Your voices flow in a duet as you guide Cabela toward the exit.
My love.
Together, the two of you emerge from the twisted maze. Cabela's hands dart to touch yours, her fingers interweaving with your own in a silent greeting. Then she withdraws her hands and lifts them up to her face. A dagger flashes in the dim light, cutting the delicate stitches. She looks at you with new eyes. So I led her to the bathtub. Good play, me. She said, my love. And you are mine forever. Oh, smooches. I like how I'm wearing a full face helmet for this kiss. So she's just making out with a piece of plasteel.
I love you. I always will. Until the end of the last star in the dark void.
Smoochies for the Emperor. Her hands wrap around you, joining at the back of your neck. Her lips meet yours, and together you dissolve in the flood of her tenderness and passion as she looses herself in the kiss. We are out of the labyrinth. A new eternity awaits.
An eternity in the embrace of that which will welcome us both.
Gesture at the lines on the floor. What happens to it now?
An eternity. We have passed the labyrinth's web. Ahead of us.
After the scene, say, get off my ship.
But I believe that as long as we keep each other in our hearts, we will always prevail. Come, Domin. Let's cleanse ourselves before we go back to our threads.
She whispers so quietly you can barely hear her. You listen to the comforting sound of running water. For a moment, a horrific scene surfaces in your mind, blood pouring from the pipes in a drowning torrent. Oh yeah, the way that her whole DLC started was blood was flooding out of those pipes while I was in the bathtub. But the image is dispelled by Cabela's touch. She is warm, alive, and so close.
May these waters mend the mistakes of the lost. May they wash away the missteps. Cleanse the soiled hands, clear the clouded mind. And as we wade in, may they grant us the strength to follow our thread.
Sky says, hey man, will you be at Gamescom or did I dream that? No, I'm on the wrong side of the planet for Gamescom. I will be at the Guild Wars 2 get-together in Seattle on August 29th. And then the next day on the 30th, I will be at PAX West across the street. Might be the only time I'm ever able to go to anything like this. I've never been to a con before. It's an expensive trip. But I'll be at those. Continue.
Always remember, Domin, that I love you. I will carry this love into the embrace of death. When the time comes for me to reach my end.
Oh.
Remember.
Voice actors did a pretty good job here, by the way. I somehow remember you saying you want to visit Europe for Gamescom. I don't even... No, it wasn't me that said that. I do not even have a current passport. I had one as a kid, and it has long since expired. So, I can't be leaving the country right now. I couldn't get back in. Steam achievement. You dispelled the shadows in the void. Time passed 2 hours. Yo, we were in the bath for 2 hours? I'm a raisin. I'm all pruned up. Alright. Without a passport, you also can't leave the country easily. Yes, true. Yeah, for those that don't know, I live on the eastern side of the United States. So going to cons in Europe is a lot. That is a big ask. Wow, there is a lot of planets in this little system. Okay, nothing on that one. Confusion reigns among the Void Ship Augur's operators. The unidentified emission keeps appearing and then reappearing on their scanners. At first it seems that sandstorms are to blame for this, hiding the source of the radiation. A team of explorers easily overcomes these storms and begins studying the surface. As their accounts suggest, the planet remains littered with broken and mangled ruins of Xenos origins. Insect-like constructs flicker among the ruins like static on a malfunctioning cogitator. Their black metallic bodies are equipped with grappling blades which bring to mind the spindly legs of spiders. With each occurrence, the devices look more and more distorted, bent, and sometimes even appear directly in the remnants of walls or overlap each other. The only stable thing in this structure is a deep hole with a melted rock at its center. Whatever purpose this structure served for the Xenos, the meteorite destroyed it long before the arrival of the rogue trader. Linger to observe the object. Magos Hanuman volunteered to lead the observation team. His passion for the Xenos devices borders on heresy, but he takes a long time after his return to report to the Lord Captain. Later, Pascal admits he is discouraged by the gap between the scientific accomplishments of the Xenos and the capabilities of modern tech priests. Excuse me. Ringsong says, as long as you don't have to pass over Russia, you'd probably not have too much trouble flying to Europe. Otherwise, and I assume flights from most places in the US fly directly east. Yeah. The big thing for me, it'd be the cost, you know? Just going from the east part of the US to the west part of the US to go to PAX, just like for me, my wife, and kids, so 3 people, a 3-day trip, literally go there and then 2 hotel nights and come back. So tickets for 3 people there and back, and then the hotel, and then the PAX tickets was like almost $4,000. And that's not counting like food or anything extra. So it's a very expensive trip. It was made a bit cheaper because my dad gave us some frequent flyer miles, but I definitely don't, we are perfectly stable, but not so much in the way that I can be throwing out vacations like that every year. Most of the surface is covered in icy dunes with greenish highlights. At first, officers aboard the vessel decide that the unusual color of the ice is due to a quirk of the atmosphere. Later, it becomes evident that the source of the highlights is a group of monstrous pyramidal structures wreathed in an emerald fire. Examining them in detail with magnoculars, is that like binoculars? It can be seen that one of the monoliths is damaged. A device on its wall emits an energy beam at a similar pyramid not far from itself. Examine the structures. The Von Valencia scouts approach the monoliths with as much care as possible, fearing the appearance of an enemy. A small servitor sent to gather data about the energy beam clearly demonstrated the destructive power of the xenotechnology. After carelessly making contact with the beam, it instantaneously broke apart into minuscule pieces. It is curious that the second pyramid is still intact, and that only matter at the source of the beam is being destroyed. Study the surviving monolith. The energy beam barely reflects off the dark metal of the pyramid. Occasionally, a scarcely visible wave runs across the surface of the monolith's walls, after which the material appears to become even smoother. It's as if one monolith is feeding the other, not destroying it. A few scouts decide to come closer in order to better examine the phenomenon. Perception success. The soldiers of Von Valancius notice a fragment of a metallic rib cage melted right into the material of one of the walls like a bizarre bas-relief. Between the rows of ribs, a talisman of black stone shimmers with colored light after each wave of energy. The figure to which the talisman belongs shows no signs of life. After a quick debate, the officers decide to take the artifact on board. You received a withering shard. Wearer's strength, toughness, and agility are decreased by 15. but the wearer can use Heroic Axe at 125 momentum instead of 175, and Desperate Measures at 50 instead of 100. If the wearer is considered as having Heretical Adherent, the wearer becomes Heretical Adherent if they don't have it yet. Okay, so this weakens you, but lets you get to your ultimate abilities sooner. Guess you're not Danny Pudi rich? I don't know who that is, but no, I don't see myself as rich. Now, we're able to pay all our bills and put some in savings, and that's I'm happy with that. But I can't afford $4,000 vacations each year. That is a lot. That's too much for my blood. Fire plasma torpedoes at these Xenos monoliths. The phenomenon seems too dangerous to leave it as it is, and the Von Valancius flagship bombards the monoliths until the last fragments are turned to dust by torpedoes and flashes from the pyramid's own deadly weaponry. Bodie McBoatface has gained accumulated charge. In the next combat, your torpedoes will be unavailable for 2 rounds. During and after the 3rd round, their damage is increased by 25%. I don't even use the torpedoes that much. Where am I? Okay, Rocky World. That one's done, that one's done, that one's done, okay. Okay, nothing here. Necron Ring. The greenish glow of the gigantic ring, made from unknown materials, flows through the windows of the captain's bridge. The Void Ship's instruments measure a whole spectrum of various emissions. Sometimes the dull green is darkened by clouds of space dust or bent by gravitational waves. The object most closely resembles a portal, albeit what's passing through it cannot be clearly defined. Observe. Arcs of incandescent star gases bursting from the ring pierce the darkness of space, reflected by the surface of other celestial bodies in the system. At times, dark light waves bend the edges of the portal, but they are quickly restored thanks to the enigmatic flowing metal. Then, lashes of purple clouds, dissected by threads of lightning, appear in the center of the ring. An unseen force prevents them from reaching the other side of the portal as the blocks of black stone become covered in purple scarlet illumination. If the ring truly were a portal, it's not fit to serve as one any longer. Stellar heat and gravitational force forbid any vessel from passing through it. According to the ship's astropaths, the purple clouds are an even more dangerous phenomenon, indicating that the powers of the warp are eager to flow out of the portal into real space. As if to highlight its deadliness, with the next wave of dark light, the portal throws out the shattered remains of an unidentified void ship. It just vomits up a broken ship. Send a team to examine. 2 trophies. Additional equipment in a closer position allow the team to understand part of what's happening. The portal seems to resemble the gate devices used by the Eldari and Drukhari, only made of a different material. The metallic shine of the ring alternates with the darkness of the large blocks of stone, reminiscent of the material that makes up the famous Cadian pylons. Lore Xenos success. Analysis of the wave signatures indicates that the construct once used parts of the webway, the Eldari system of pathways. However, in its current condition, the portal is not fit for transporting vessels. It is unstable and often begins unleashing dangerous cosmic objects. Instead of transports, the gate spews forth dark light waves and deadly breaths of incandescent gas, the latter taken from a star's photosphere. Bodie McBoatface gained Novelty. During the next combat, your flagship's evasion increased by 15% against Necrons. It is hard to believe that the civilization capable of creating a device as powerful as this could have undergone such a decline. Leo Rose says, I'm going to Atlanta, Georgia next month. Hey, that's like an hour away from me. For a Magic the Gathering con. Might be spending more than 4K though. You wailing? The augurs reveal 2 Xenos ships hurtling through clouds of cosmic dust. A message is coming from one of the alien vessels on an encrypted Vox frequency used by the Von Valancius dynasty. According to the transmission, Lady Theodora's people are aboard the Xenos ship. Give me a report on the enemy. The augurs are spotting more and more Xenos vessels, but most of them are in a strange state of dormancy. Are they asleep? Dead? Cautiousness dictates not to test this hypothesis. Thankfully, the nebulae in the system could allow the Dynasty flagship to evade danger. To battle. Good morning. What's up, Nintendo? Alright. Where are we at? What does the fog do? Minus speed, minus hit chance, minus range, plus evasion. Okay.
Lance!
Excuse me? It said I was gonna be in range.
Unleash our fury!
Man, maybe I should just stop using the interceptors when fighting these and just use torpedoes. Oh wow, there's 3 more coming from over there.
Engage the lance! Lance! Launch the devastating payload! Set course!
Can't reach. Okay. So this might miss because of the gas cloud thing that they're in.
Lance! Engage the macro
Ooh,
cannon!
that was some good hits. Detonate those torpedoes. That's a kill. Mug, do you freak out at spiders? No. Like, if I saw one that had, like, you know, the famous red hourglass on its back, I'd be a bit nervous, right? But in general, no. So, here's the thing. I live in Georgia, as I've mentioned. There is... I mean, I don't want to say a lot of spiders, but I would say nearly any spider you see here is not venomous. So, like, if it's bugging you, you could just, like, pick it up and just freaking throw it. Now, I don't go outside much, so it's been a long time since I've actually had any interaction with spiders, but for the most part, you can just pick them up and eat the things and just be like, get out of my way.
The destination
Where's the extend range
Rome.
thing? This guy.
Engage the lance! Throw them in the void!
Oh, that's a big one. Shroud class light cruiser. Yeah, the Heartless is doing a lot of damage.
Lance! Engage the lance! Set course!
Reinforce the left shields.